In this video I'm going to show you how to make a Costa Rican glass frog. So a puppet head. This is folded out of 15cm standard origami paper. The detailing on the eyes is very small, however, so this is 20cm paper, which is this other sheet I've got here. So we're going to use 20cm paper to try and fold the Costa Rican glass frog. So here we go. First thing I'm going to need to do is turn the paper on the white side. I'm going to fold in half both ways. Now I'm going to turn it over to the coloured side, and I'm going to fold each of the raw edges to the centre crease on four sides. Rotate the paper, fold another edge. Rotate the paper and fold again. Last one. Okay, so on the white side we're going to fold in half again. And we're going to make two squash folds. We've already got a valley fold here. We're going to take one sheet, swing the paper open, and I'm going to squash the point down exactly along, so this vertical line runs straight down. Got to be quite precise, especially with the early creases on this model. So we're going to squash the other side too. If I turn the paper over, I can just valley fold the other side to match. Okay. Now we're going to fold the same thing on both sides of the paper. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to valley fold from this corner to this corner on one side. Just at the start we're going to, so there's our valley fold, we're going to do the same one on the other side. So if I turn the paper over and put that valley fold in, if we unfold that, I'm going to turn that into a squash fold. I'm going to take this leaf of paper and fold it down to there, and that will mean we have a squash fold. We have to reverse this crease there. And of course we'll turn the paper over and we'll do the same on this side. So I'm going to unfold that. I'm going to put this squash fold in place as well. Okay. Now we're going to take this corner, I'm going to fold it like this, diagonally. Okay, we'll do the same the other side. but for now I'm going to fold a whole sequence on one side and then turn the paper over and do the same on the other side. So let's fold that sequence. First thing to do is I'm going to crease diagonally from here to here. Okay, and then I'm going to do a squash fold. So this is going to go down there, so we're making a valley fold here, and we're going to squash the paper flat. Like so. And then we're going to take this diagonal edge and we're going to fold that so it lies along the horizontal. This is in preparation for a squash fold. Okay, so if I unfold that, I'm going to turn that into a squash fold now. So I'm going to lift up a layer of paper and I'm going to fold the paper down and perform a squash fold. So if you want to see that slowly, maybe tilt the paper so you can see it. Oops, I think the squash fold is that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to swing some paper over this way. We're going to fold where this diagonal crease meets the edge and that corner there. We're going to finally fold that across. And it's like a half of a petal fold. There's a few folds that happen at the same time. The main other fold that happens is this edge here. We're going to fold diagonally so it lies along the horizontal crease. As I swing this across, this edge can come down. If we fold that diagonally like that, this should squash flat like that. Okay, so it's half a petal. We'll show you that again. So there it was, squashed, and we're valley folding across, and that comes down. We'll get to do this on the other side as well anyway. So one other thing to do with this is I'm going to pull out some paper and wrap it to the front. So this is a white triangle at the minute. I'm going to pull out some paper and that triangle is going to wrap around like that. So it's on, so we've got a coloured. So let's actually do that move again with the paper vertical. We'll go for it a bit quicker on the second side. So I'm going to pull some paper out and wrap it to the front like that. Okay. Right. One other thing we're going to do here is this shallow triangle here, we're going to mount and fold that inside the model. So let's turn the paper around. So this, I'm going to just mount and fold that inside the model. Here we are. Okay. So we're going to do all of those moves on this side now. So let's turn that around. So first thing I'm going to do, fold this corner to there in preparation for our squash fold. Fold, unfold, and then squash. So I'm going to go through things a little quicker on this side. I'm going to fold this diagonal. Fold, turn that into a squash fold, and we're going to do our half petal fold where this point swings across and this edge swings down, Then we're going to wrap a layer to the front. And then we're going to mounting fold this inside. Open that out. Mounting fold that inside. Okay, we're getting there with our model. Now I'm going to concentrate on this white flap. I'm going to do a series of folds on this side and then we'll repeat them on the other side. First thing to do, fold corner to corner. These things are going to start getting small now, so I'm going to end up holding them to the camera I think a few times here. I'm going to fold this point across to this side now, so swing the point over. Okay, and I'm now going to fold this edge to that vertical edge. This is in preparation for a squash fold. So there we are. Unfold that. We're going to squash down. Rotate the paper a little so it's easy for me to grab the edges. So I'm going to separate these layers and squash the paper like that. Squash that flat. Now this little triangle I'm going to valley fold over. This is where it gets really small because that triangle is going to be folded in half again. So like a fairly firm crease. So let's try and see how much of this I can do fairly close to the camera. If we unfold that, this tip is now going to be valley folded so it meets that crease we've just made. So it's a very small tip. Like this. And we unfold that tip and the crease we just made with that little fold is now going to meet the other fold. So it's another valley fold of this tip in between the last two creases. I'm going to put it in place and then hold it nearer the camera so you can see. There. So there we are. Let's hope the autofocus works on this camera. There we are, just folded there. And we're going to do a little valley fold on the creases we've just made. So tiny little valley fold like this. I'm trying to do this in the camera, so there we are. It's difficult to fold and keep it all in view. There we are. So there is one side of our eye. They've got one other tiny little, really tiny fold. These corners, I'm just going to mounting fold the smallest part behind at an angle like this. Just partly cosmetic, and it also helps to keep this colour paper in place. So tiny valley fold over side, mounting fold over side, just to hold that in place. So that is kind of a completed eye on that side so far. So we're going to do all those moves again on this side. So first thing is I'm going to fold diagonal. Then I'm going to swing this point across. Then I'm going to fold it again diagonally in preparation for a squash fold. Let's make that squash fold now. And valley fold the little triangular point. And fold that point to the crease we just made, so making a tiny little triangle. and then folding so those two creases we made meet. And then valley folding again. Just fold that paper over. And finally I'm going to make two tiny little mounting folds. One there and one here. Okay. Now we're going to try and do the same thing on both sides now, because we've got some folds which have no reference, and therefore we need to line them up. So I'm going to unfold this one, turn it over, unfold this one. Now I'm going to make a valley crease at a fairly shallow angle. So from this point out, if you want a reference, it sort of doesn't have to be. So this angle from this edge to the centre line is the same as this angle to the centre line. But there we are, it's about that much is the technical term. And this time round we're going to use that fold we made to line up the other side. So put that fold in as well. Okay. Making no new creases here. This eye bit, we're just going to swing it behind. So if I turn this over, I'll take this unit, this eye bit here, and I'll swing it behind. I could do an ice cream van. Okay, one more valley fold to make. Again, there's no real judgment other than this is the last fold for the positioning of the eye, and I'm going to make a valley fold so that this coloured paper is just above the horizontal edge we've got here. So let's put it in place, and then you can see approximately where we are. Let's get that really close. So that coloured area is slightly above this line here. And again, we can use the other side to line up both folds. So I can do the same fold here. We're nearly finished. One of the beauties of this model is pretty much like the fox puppet that this is kind of based on, is it all happens at the end. Okay, I'm going to just shape this eye a little bit. I'm going to make a few mounting folds that just takes away this corner and just gives it a nicer shape. So let's see if we can do this. The autofocus behaves itself, there we are. So I'm just going to make a little mounted fold to bend that peak back. Mounted fold, maybe take an edge off the top as well. This is kind of to preference anyway. So there. I'm going to make the other eye match. I'm going to do this down on the table in view of the camera though. So a little mounting fold, shape the eye, and another little mounting fold to blunt that point. There. Okay, so that's the eye bit done. This is the neck part, and we're going to make a valley fold from here diagonally, so that these 2 points stick out. There's no reference for this either, although when I put that fold in place, what you will see is that the angle of the eye, it kind of just carries on in a straight line. So you've got these 2 points sticking out. We can turn the paper over and we can put the same fold in the other side and line them up. Very nearly finished now. Just going to put some value folds in on, you've got this on all of these elements here, the neck element and the eye element. We're just going to make them all line up with this horizontal here. So if I value fold that in, value fold that, it's all going to be flat, so it can become a rectangular shape again. So if I turn the paper over, put that one in, put this one in, and that is all of the creasing that we're going to be doing. Now it's time to shape the model. And this is a bit like a purse. You've got a sort of a pocket inside. If I show, there's a pocket there. I'll put my finger in that pocket, and I'm going to make that pocket wider. And at the same time, making the pocket. At the same time, as making the pocket wider, I'm going to push in the bottom of the purse. So this is where the mouth forms. So I'm going to push in here, widen that, push in that, and as you can see, it's already starting to get a bit of a mouth. So we're just going to keep on pushing that, make it nice and wide, and we can bring the two parts of the head together. There's a fold here, we can mounting fold in place inside. After a little bit of fiddling around, you should be able to get a mouth that's reasonably neat. There's a couple of things left to do though. These eyes, there's a little bit of white paper on the outside of the model that can be tucked behind. So I'm just going to literally take the white layer, tuck it behind. What I also like to do is add a little bit of a bend to just add to the shape. So that's the top tidied up. If we turn the model upside down, we can actually do exactly the same to the neck. These little bits here can go behind and inside the model, like that and like that. And again, add a little bend there. And we should then have a completed, authentic Costa Rican glass frog. I hope your one come out well.